naked. I'm naked. I'm naked and not ashamed.
Oh God.
I'm naked. Oh yeah. I'm naked. I'm naked and not ashamed.
Welcome to the Naked and Not Ashamed with your host, Lateka Carter.
And not ashamed. Welcome to Naked and Not Ashamed. Yep, we're doing something completely different. Now, the guest that I have here was the guest that I had last show, Brian Keith McNeil. Did he not move us to tears with his tears as he began to share in what he experienced in his life? Yes, he did. But if you saw the show, you saw at the end how dynamic he is and versed in what he does to motivate, empower, inspire, and educate you. So we decided to do something different. We're giving it a little empowerment powwow. Yep, you're in for a treat this go around. So Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, thank you for
I am
coming
honored
back.
to be on your show.
Good, I'm so glad that you're here. So this show is different than all the shows that I have already been airing.
Okay.
We're here.
We're going to talk to them.
Yeah, we're going to talk to them. We want them to know that this is not something that's easy. So Brian, tell me,
Yes, ma'am.
how difficult was it for you to be naked and not ashamed?
It was difficult, but only for a moment.
Okay.
And what I hoped would happen when I was naked and not ashamed actually did. I hoped I would feel cleansed.
Mm-hmm.
I hoped I would feel better. And that's exactly what happened.
And that is what we aim for. So my question to you is, now that you were a guest, and I did mine as well, and I was saying, oh my God, did I say that? Did I say that too? Did I tell it? Oh, don't air it. And I was like, nah. But I felt good when I was taping it. And I felt cleansed, just like you said. It wasn't by any means to make anyone feel bad if they were a part of that story that I shared.
You know, I often tell people one of the most important words in your life is the word courage.
Yes.
So much of our victories and so much of our defeats, so much of our wins and our losses rebound off the word courage. It does take some courage to be naked and not ashamed, but it's worth it.
It is worth it. So now when we talk about it's worth it, you just said courage. When we really think about going to people, letting them know, we're here, we've done this, it's worth it for you, because that's what you just said. It's worth it. How important is it to be naked and not ashamed?
It's like trying to steal second base with your foot on first. It's like trying to go to town but waiting for all the lights to turn green.
Yeah.
You just can't do it that way. You'll never get there. There's so much stuff that gets taken off of you the moment you're courageous enough to be naked and not ashamed that you can move full speed.
Yeah.
You can get something done now. You know why? I know there are so many people that are dragging stuff that they can need to let go.
Exactly. So let me just say this. When I have to say, God gave me this vision. So when I had this vision of being naked and not ashamed, I was like, ooh, no. I don't want to do this. Who is going to want to support this? Who wants to air their stuff and put it out there? But I began to look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
The bigger picture to me was and still is the people out there that feel plastered to the wall. They don't know how to move forward. They feel stuck. They have dreams that they want to pursue. They have hopes. They want to be ambitious. They see other people doing it. And they feel that if I can't get to a certain part in my life, I myself can't do it.
It's even more important than that because they can't do it on their own.
Right.
A lot of times there's a thing called inertia.
Okay.
You know, remember inertia from school. A body in motion will stay in motion at the same speed and the same rate unless acted upon by an outside force.
Yes.
The converse is also true. A body that's at rest or stuck will stay at rest at the same speed and the same rate unless acted upon by an outside force. I believe this show, could be the outside force to get people out of inertia. It can help people to move.
I mean, you have to. I want people to really begin to look at it like this. In order for me to reach those things that I dream about and I talk about in secret, a lot of people may not know that I really want to become that painter. I really want to become that singer. I really want to do this. I want to go back to college, or I want to go back and get my GED. I want to be a better parent. Just whatever their dream is in life. I want them to understand it's possible.
That's right.
But first, you have to divorce your past. Divorcing your past is first understanding acceptance. You have to accept there is an issue with you. You have to first come into the realization, just like when you told your story, depression. Someone said, you're just a little depressed. And it hit you like, that may be it. Now, we're not saying that you are depressed, you got issues like that or anything like that. We're not saying that about you. But what we are saying is look at your own self in the mirror and accept you for who you are and what you see here. You can't look at yourself in the mirror and see your past as far as your handicaps. But you have to see yourself face value and be ready to do something about what you don't like.
As I listen to you, I'm reminded of another reason why this show is important. Because as adults, particularly men, we get so good at hiding ourselves from ourselves. Myself, hand raised. I was a master at hiding myself from myself, making myself believe that my stuff was together when it wasn't.
Oh, so it's not just men.
Okay.
Us women do that too. Let us be real. We put the makeup on.
Hide yourself from yourself?
Yeah, we have the outfit looking tight. We looking good. Everything we think is all right. But when we take that makeup off, who are we really behind the makeup? And not just that, we don't want people to see us without that camouflage, without that substance of, this is me when you see me, but when you don't, I'm crying, I'm hurting, I'm damaged. I can say for myself, now this is something that I said a few years back when I was really, really depressed, on the brink of suicide. Well, trying to commit suicide. This is what I said to me. I am damaged goods. What man would want me now?
Wow.
That's what I said to myself. Because what I had went through, I felt as if I had been built up after I lost the first husband and lost everything, and then God blessed me to gain it back and gain esteem. I gained esteem, and I found out who I was then.
Gorgeous.
Point. Thank you. And then the second marriage came along. And I lost my job. I just began to start losing things, not understanding there was a purpose behind everything. But as I began to start losing everything, all I saw was loss. That's all I saw. I felt like the game was there, but Lateka was losing that. It was just over. And I said, I don't have any more worth. He took it all from me. Now that's real. And how many women and men, you said men fry in the dark, you said that before we started. How many of us actually feel that way when we feel that we have been molested from the inside? We have been raped from the inside, that we feel there is nothing left of us good to give. But that's when we have to really look at ourselves in the mirror.
You know, I keep going back to it. Conversations like this are worth having.
Yes.
They're worth having because people a lot of times get within themselves and they hide from themselves. They see old friend. But, you know, even you, when you were in that moment when you thought, what man would want me because I have nothing left to give, or I'm damaged goods, in that moment, you still had a wonderful prize within you. You still were fantastic in that moment, and so many people are. They're looking at themselves the wrong way. You know what worry is? It's a misuse of your imagination. Okay? Because most of the things we worry about never happen.
Yeah.
It's a misuse.
You go back to that word if. If this, if
Yes, it's a misuse of your imagination.
Yes.
I promise you, over the course of a calendar week, a regular week, between now and next Friday, next week, I'll be saying the same thing again to somebody at least twice or 3 times. Okay, now you're misusing your imagination. What if the exact opposite of that happened? What if it does happen for you instead of it doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? I'm constantly telling people you're misusing your imagination. Try it another way. Okay,
Right.
just as it takes no more effort to imagine the positive outcome than it does the negative outcome, but they can't do it on their own. That's why we need to. I need that song. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body.
Yes.
We do need each other.
Yes, we do.
Nobody's an island.
Nobody's an island.
And I promise you this too, the older I get, the more and more I understand that there's less and less I can do in my own strength. I can't, okay? I need help with everything.
Everything. And that's why this show is here to help you. We'll be right back. Are you someone who has faced adversity or who have overcame obstacles in your life? Do you have any experience that you have not shared and you want to share with people so that they can see what you have to offer as a person? Naked and Not Ashamed is here to provide support. We can help you feel comfortable in releasing. We want you to divorce your past so that you can marry your future. Reach out to us. Send us an inquiry with your name and a brief story to nakedandnotashamedshow@gmail.com, as well as our social media. We're here for you. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Welcome back to Naked and Not Ashamed. I'm your host, Lateka, and I have Brian Keith McNeil here with me from our last episode where he told his story. Whew. You had to go back and catch that one. But we've been here talking about why it's important to divorce your past. And we're going to talk about why it's important to marry your future. So this is a good show to actually go back and watch again while we have it out there for you to watch. But Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what does one do when they are ready to say, I've had enough? Now, before I say that, haven't you heard so many people say, enough already? Enough is enough. And they really don't mean it because they keep going into that. Now, what can we say to people who are saying enough is enough, but they still keep doing it? And then we're going to move on to the next part.
A couple of things.
Okay.
One, and this is why I want everyone here to help your friends. You know, Lateka often says, each one heal one. Help one, each one help one. Well, one thing you can do to help your friends is, most of the people that are unhappy, walking around unhappy, it's because they have not yet fully figured out what they're good at.
True.
Once you figure out what you're good at, and you make sure that you're doing some of the things that you're good at regularly, you know, then you can make for a happier person. I do a workshop, Lateka, called I Pledge Allegiance to My Thang. Thang, yes. Because your job is the thing. That's the thing you do to make your money. You need your thing, but your thing is what pulls your heart.
Yeah.
So I talk about do your thing, but don't neglect your thing, okay? Because you need to do your thing. But anyway, to your question about what can people do when they decide that they want to move from where they are to where they want to be. That's the first thing, to decide that they no longer want to be in that place anymore.
You have to get to that.
As an action step, I recommend when someone decides that they want to move from where they are, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, they decide they don't want to be in the muck and the mire anymore, and they want to win with their lives. I would recommend you take out a sheet of paper, number it 1 to 10, skipping a line between each number. And then I would say to you, set your phone or your stopwatch to 3 minutes, because this is a timed event. Do it in the privacy of your own home with no one else around, but do not give yourself the benefit of any doubts. And discipline yourself to do this within 3 minutes, because like our school teachers used to say, when you cheat, you're only cheating yourself, and that is so true. I'm learning that later in life. That's true. When you cheat, you're cheating yourself more than anyone else. But in this 3-minute timed event, I would say to you, title the page, 10 great things about me. 10 great things about me, and then hit that stopwatch and go. Now, for most people, the first 2 or 3 or 4 are going to come to their minds right away. Those are their own personal favorite things. And then for most people, they have to, oh my God, start to think. And if that's the case for you, I want you to press and think to it. Finish this within 3 minutes. If you cannot come up with 10 great things about yourself within a 3-minute time period, that means that you do not yet know enough about yourself, because there's a lot more than 10 great things about yourself. Re-examine yourself. I would have you do that, and then I would have you talk to the right people. Psalms 1:1. Blessed is he who does not sit in the seat of the scornful. Well, don't take counsel from people who can't help you.
Exactly.
Don't take counsel from people who are not doing better than you.
Yes.
Don't take counsel from the wrong people.
Yes.
Take counsel from the right people.
True. So if you are someone who is involved with the same type of atmosphere and you haven't went anywhere, what I believe, and I have said a lot of times, is yesterday, when you keep doing yesterday's situations over and over, thinking it's going to give you results for tomorrow, it's not. You have to put plans in motion to work forward for tomorrow. Think futuristic. You have to do those things. And get away from those people and those situations that keep holding you back. It is so important that we look at ourselves and find the value in us. Now, I know that you've probably heard a lot of people say this, or seen a lot of people do this. They go over to someone else that's going through something, and they'll speak into their life. They'll just tell them up and down what you are. You are not that, and you are not this. But when they're alone, they can't even say that to their own selves, because they don't even see the worth in them enough to go to the steps you just used, which is just 10 things. What can you say about yourself? 10 things good that you can find about yourself. Great, I'm sorry.
Great is important.
Great,
and that's
yes.
a key word.
Yes, it is. Great. What are 10 great things that you can find about yourself?
One more?
Yeah.
After you do your list, write down something that you're good at that most people would have no idea, that most people don't even know. There was this teenager that I work with a men's and teenager group, and it's called MORE, Men of Resolution Everywhere, but this is one teenager. I'm not going to tell his name. He's a real big guy. You would never notice to look at him. And I asked him, in an attempt to give him some esteem, tell me something that you're good at that most people would have no idea. And you would not believe his answer. His answer was, he's a better dancer than most people think.
Wow. Very
He's
nice.
a good dancer.
Very nice.
I said, well, where do you dance? At home. Who do you dance with? My mom. Do you dance out in public? Not really. Okay, but he considers himself a great dancer. And him having to say that audibly to another person, something that he's good at, it made him feel better right away just to tell someone that.
Exactly, it does. When you are able to just speak to someone, just tell them something that's been in a secret. It's like, I'm so excited about.
Yes.
I'm just so excited about this, but I have no one to share it with. And then you have that person that comes up to you and want to know what you are doing, the great stuff that's inside of you. It makes you feel good to finally have someone to ask, for one. But for two, that you can share with and they not give you that look.
One more thing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, to have some fun,
Yeah.
get into the habit of start asking strangers, what's the coolest thing you've ever done? What is the coolest thing you've ever done? I promise you, if you ask a waitress, what is the coolest thing you've ever done, you're going to have a fantastic conversation,
And better service. On top of that, she'll be expecting a tip, I'm sure. A big tip. A great tip.
Why not?
Right.
You feel good when you give a good tip.
You do.
Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, you do.
When you tip more than normal, you feel good?
Yeah, when you're giving that little bit, you're walking up like, oh.
Yeah.
But honestly, seriously, all jokes aside, it feels good to do good, to be good, and to look at yourself as a great person.
That's
you
right.
are. You have to know who you are. When you don't know who you are, a lot of times you already feel defeated.
People forget.
They forget.
I've heard it said, we all are born geniuses, and our lives that we live take us through the process of de-geniusing ourselves.
Yes.
I teach people how to sell. You know who are great salespeople naturally? 2, and 3, and 4-year-olds, okay?
I want to hear this one. Tell me why.
Well, 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, because they know how to persuade. Even younger than that, babies. When a baby's hungry, what do? They want to get fed, and they persuade you to do that.
Yes, they do.
My daughter, who's now 23 years old, at age 3 or 4, conquered me in selling. One time, Brianna wanted some cookies. And I said, no, Brianna, you can't have it. Now, Brianna immediately launched into, well, can I have it later, Daddy? Later? Later? So the sale wasn't over because I said no. She wanted to have a preview of coming attractions, that she's going to get it soon. She was okay with that. So most people that I talk to who think they can't sell is because they've taught themselves how to not be able to sell.
Right.
You know? And I reteach them how.
Yeah. Rejection is a killer. Now, that's things that a lot of people struggle with is rejection.
And I can cure it within a minute. Okay?
Tell us how you can cure it in a minute.
Well, when it comes to business, understand one thing. They're not rejecting you as a person. They're rejecting your offer. That's all. Okay? I'm not saying you're bad. I'm saying I don't want your offer. It's not personal like that. Okay? That's all it is. Okay?
And even what you just said, you still can take it and turn it to the personal side. Because sometimes people that receive the rejection, they take it to heart as if, oh, they're rejecting me. I'm not good enough for that person, or they don't want. No.
Yeah, but you don't make.
Look at it like
yeah, but
that.
you don't make any money. You don't make any money on your first call. No. If everybody I tried to sell to bought from me, that means I'm not seeing enough people.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I have to talk to 10 people to make $1,000, for example, okay? And the first 9 of them say no to me. But the 10th one says yes, and I earn $1,000 off that one, okay? So that means that all 10 of them had value to me. I can just divide it out, okay? It took me 10 people, so each person that said no to me was worth $100, okay? Because 1,000 divided by 10 is 100, right? Each. So okay, now, would you let me say no to you if at the end of that I handed you a $100 bill?
I'll take the $100 bill.
Can I say no to you though?
Did you say no to me?
Yeah.
Would I still get the $100 bill?
Yeah.
You said, of course you can say no.
How about can I yell at you and then pay you $100?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Yell?
Yeah, just say no, and then here's $100.
What would that yell mean?
Doesn't mean nothing, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, just
I'll take the $100.
of course.
Yes.
So if you look at your sales process like that, all the people that reject your offer, they all are worth some money because eventually you ask until someone says yes. That's how you do it. You just ask until someone says yes. Now you learn how to ask the right way. You know, that's why you need a great sales coach. But somebody's going to say yes. It's impossible for everybody to say no.
Yes.
So that everyone that said no had some value.
That's true. And we're going to take a break.
Okay.
With this particular one. And we're going to finish up Naked and Not Ashamed this episode. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Naked and Not Ashamed with your host, Lateka. Go ahead.
Brian Keith
Undisputed
McNeil.
champion.
Brian
Keith McNeil here. We have had our power empowerment session here explaining to the audience why it's important to divorce your past and marry your future. But most importantly, why it's important to marry your future. There is a future out there for you. No matter what you have been through in your life, don't think that your life is over. No, it's getting better. Just like dirt, kick it off.
Well, also,
keep moving.
Yes, your life is getting better, but not only that, the world needs you. The world needs you healthy and whole. Because if you don't bring your talent up, if you don't showcase what you're here to do, if you don't do that thing that's calling you, you deprive the entire world of you, of your, because we need you.
Yes.
You know, we need
We're
you.
here for a purpose.
That's right.
Every last one of us have been placed here on this earth for a purpose.
That's right.
And we have what we need on the inside
All
to
of it.
make this journey.
That's right.
Things have to happen in our life to birth those things inside of us.
What about the excuses, though?
You gotta stop making excuses. You gotta stop saying, I don't wanna, I can't. Stop blaming everyone for your problems and situations. God only gives you power to control you. So with that power that he is giving you, it's time to do something about it. It's time to do something with it. So we're going to be wrapping up the show here, and we want to leave you with good information about what you can do to find the help that you need. It's just the fact that you want help. Who doesn't want help? Who doesn't want to be better? Who doesn't want to be healed and move forward?
You know, we all have the same amount of time.
Yes,
No one has more time than anyone else.
so true.
We all breathe the same air.
Yes, we do.
You know, and if you have full activity of your eyes, ears, limbs, and all that, you can find your help.
You can.
You have to ask for help.
Yes, you do.
And I would say to you, find someone that is doing what you want to be doing on the level that you want,
Yes.
and ask that person how they did it.
Yes.
One of the best counsels that I've ever heard, actually, is that poor people should take rich people to lunch.
Yes.
You know, spend the $20.
I've done it plenty of times.
You've done it plenty of times. And has it ever been a bad investment?
Of course not. I'm
It never
investing in my
has.
future, because that's the time that I have to ask all the questions.
I said from a stage one time that if you're not a great salesperson now, you should take a great salesperson to lunch. And one guy took me to lunch, you know, and it was Burger King. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It was but he took me to lunch,
Yes.
and he had his notebook armed and his pen at the ready, and he bought me a Whopper, and I was honored to be there. Now, I took that so seriously
Yes.
that he asked, could he buy me a burger, and asked me some stuff.
Yes.
And I wanted him successful because he did that. He invested in himself, you know, and there's help for you. There's help for everybody,
It is.
but you got to ask for it.
You do. And the internet is so full of help. If you can Google self-help in whatever the situation is that you're going through. I know sometimes money is a factor. You may, or insurance even, to go to the licensed professionals for their professional help. But you can go online. You can read books. You can go to the bookstores and do what you just said. Even
Now,
ask for help.
less and less in my life, I accept money or lack of money as an excuse. Less and less I
Yes.
accept that. You know, it costs some money for me to work with someone. And what I'm learning is that people find the money for whatever they want.
They do.
If someone says to you they don't have any money, okay, but someone offered them a $3,000 cruise for $900, okay, they find the $900 because it's an incredible value. People find money for what they want,
Yes.
okay, and money really, it's been said by smarter men than me that money is really just an idea. It's just an idea. You know, you can find the money for whatever you really want. What person could not find $1,000 to get the doctor to save their child's life? They could find it. You know, you might find the money that you need for what you want.
Yes.
And that's why, you know, if you want something bad enough, you will scratch around till you find it. So what do you
Yeah.
want? What do you want is a good question.
Yeah. If you want to be healed enough, if you're ready to move
That's right.
forward in your life,
Please.
you see that you yourself are worthy enough for your future. Why wouldn't you? If you're telling everyone else about their future and going after it, what's wrong with you? Like you said, it's time out for excuses.
That's right.
No more excuses, because what you want, you can go get. You just have to see that you are worth investing in.
I will say this too, and to wrap up, when you read books about successful people, I love to read a biography about someone successful. It's funny how familiar the themes are. When these people took total responsibility for their own lives, their lives changed.
It did.
When they stopped blaming anybody or anything external of themselves.
Yes.
You know, no more of my ex did this to me because that's why I'm not successful. Take complete control, and that's what you really wanted.
Yeah.
You want to accept all the blame because you're the only one, like you said a minute ago, you're the only one that you can control.
Yes.
Okay, so if you accept 100% responsibility for where you are, now this is going to be a bitter pill for some, but where you are in your life is an accumulation of your thinking and acting up to this point. And who you are right now is really who you were up until now. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, so who you're going to be 6 months from now is going to be the person that you thought and acted like between now and the next 6 months. So that's good news, because that means that something that you can say or do can drastically change your life. There's something that you can say or do that'll make your life worse.
Yeah.
There's something that you can say or do that'll make your life better.
Yes.
That's good news. Just choose to say and do the things that'll make your life better. And if you don't know, seek out the answer.
That's true. I hope you have enjoyed today's show. This show is here to help you in whatever way that we can by giving you empowerment advice, giving you education advice, inspiration advice. We gave some of that out there.
I hope so.
Yeah, we are here. Naked and Not Ashamed is here so that we can help you. Not for you to come on here and tell all of your business or anything like that. Even if you can't come, we're here so that you can see the tools to move forward in your life. How to be a better you. How to be naked and not ashamed, because you are important.
Amen.
So move forward on that. I want to see you in your future because I already know you're looking great. I'm Lateka, the host of Naked and Not Ashamed. Until next time, we hope you have a wonderful evening.